Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. We're back in the car. I don't know how you guys in the UK survive this. I really don't. It's freezing. I went for breakfast this morning. 4 degrees. There was sleet falling from the sky. It's flipping snowing in the middle of March and we're almost at Easter. It's mental stuff. In today's video, Chelsea news, I want to talk to you about the naughty boy who isn't a Chelsea player yet, but he is, Kendry Páez. I also want to talk to you guys, got a new notebook, by the way. Romelu Lukaku was asked about playing in England again and oh God, this bloke. Viktor Gyokeres, the new #1 Chelsea striker target. Bento, not one of those Japanese rice boxes that you can buy in Itsu, but the Brazilian goalkeeper. And then I want to finish by talking in a little rant about Gareth Southgate. So if you're English and you support England, or you just want to see me basically distraught at my country in a footballing sense, which is pretty normal for an England fan to be upset or disappointed. But I've seen enough with Southgate. We're about to go into a major tournament where I really think England might be one of the favourites, but we've got Southgate as the manager. But first things first, let's talk about the naughty boy, Kendry Páez. Although, I'll be honest with you guys, I understand recently, last few months, it's not really been the most positive channel. I want to try, even in the Chelsea news videos now, to bring the light-hearted fun back to talking about Chelsea news. So when I see that Kendry Páez has been at a strip club, I'm immediately thinking, fair play, mate, you're a young lad. And then I'm also thinking, swear he's not even of age to be going to a strip club yet. So he's a very naughty boy. A source close to Kendry Páez says the boy clearly looks uncomfortable on the film and he is not joining in with some of the things going on. He's made a mistake, but the mistake was to let the older players lead him. Look, okay, when you're a young player, like Kendry Páez is, he's one of the hottest talents coming out of Ecuador for many, many years. There's a lot of hopes on Kendry Páez, hence why Chelsea have come in and signed him from Independiente. So when you're playing for the national team, doesn't matter if you're 16, 17, 15, I don't know, I think he's 17 now, Kendry Páez, or he's almost 17. The fact of the matter is, yeah, if you're playing for the national team, you want to be a part of everything. You look at Kobbie Mainoo for Man United. He's just been called up by Southgate, making his England debut at 18. Ivan Toney was flipping playing video games when he was 18 years old, you know. When you're young and you're that good, you're in the spotlight. You're immediately put with senior players who, a lot of them will either want to kind of shut you down because you're younger, but in modern day football, there isn't really this kind of cult where if you're one of the older players like a Roy Keane at Man United and you've got young Wayne Rooney coming in, it doesn't really work the same way as that anymore. So Kendry Páez is probably like, right, I want to be one of the lads. I want to be one of the boys. So to be quite honest, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, just let the young lad live his life. Do you know what I mean? But rules are rules and he is underage. He shouldn't be in strip clubs. That is the meat and potatoes of everything. And as well as that, as much as I think it's all right, just, you know, we shouldn't take this too seriously. Don't make it so negative on Kendry Páez. At the same time, you've got to hope that one-off strip club nights in New York when Ecuador are losing to Italy in friendlies, I hope this isn't a regular thing. I've seen him go live on Instagram more than I flipping go on Instagram. I get the notification through on my phone. I'm just going to hope with Páez that his footballing ability does the talking. And I don't want it to be one of those where a bright young player sparks really early and then he burns out in the modern world where social media, girls and strip clubs become another prevalent factor of growing up. So we just got to hope that he sticks to playing football, Kendry Páez. But that is the news regarding that. We move to discuss Romelu Lukaku. Now, if you didn't see, England played Belgium at Wembley last night. Another uninspiring Gareth Southgate performance. Stay to the end of the video to check out my thoughts on this. But Romelu Lukaku was asked about any potential future in England. Is there any points he needs to make? Blah, blah, blah. Romelu Lukaku, you'll have to ask Chelsea when asked if he wants to impress when he comes back to England. This is from his chat with Rob Dorsett from Sky after the England-Belgium game. Look, as of right now, Romelu Lukaku is still contracted to Chelsea. Chelsea, as we're about to find out when we talk about Viktor Gyokeres, we are in the market for a top elite striker in the summer. Romelu Lukaku might still be doing okay. The numbers in Italy are pretty good. But Lukaku and Chelsea, there are some things that just don't go. It's like wasabi. I love spicy food, but I just don't like wasabi. Whether it comes from a 5-star Michelin star restaurant or it comes from flipping yo sushi. I'm never going to like wasabi. Romelu Lukaku is never going to like it at Chelsea. And by default, fans are never going to warm back up to him at Chelsea, and Chelsea is never going to warm back up to Lukaku. So, when Sky journalists are asking these questions, credit to them. It's very smart. We know it's going to get some clicks because Romelu Lukaku's answer is going to be interesting. No matter what Lukaku says, thinking about the tie between Lukaku, Chelsea, it doesn't work. But he's still contracted. It sells. It's smart from the journalist. But Lukaku back to Chelsea just isn't going to happen unless, for whatever reason, all of these FFP talks that we're currently talking about, or were talking about last week, if for whatever reason Chelsea are about to get a transfer ban, we can't sign another striker. I don't think it's going to be for the next transfer window, but let's say we don't sign those top striker targets. Is there any world, let me know in the comments here, where Chelsea might be forced to look at Romelu Lukaku? You've got Christopher Nkunku, can never stay injured. Nicholas Jackson, who I genuinely think is bubbling at Chelsea right now. And when we talk about Gyokeres next, we might as well move on to talk about him now. I think Viktor Gyokeres signing for Chelsea is actually something that is starting to sway me in a positive sense more than Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. The more that I watch of Viktor Gyokeres, the more I think, actually, you know what? Chelsea could become one of those unpredictable attacking teams. Chelsea, in an attacking sense, in recent seasons, and a lot of the start of this season, super predictable. Viktor Gyokeres, brilliant dribbler, great at holding up the ball, a selfless striker who is also scoring goals for fun. I think it's 22 goals in 24 matches this season in the league for Sporting Lisbon. So, when we talk about Viktor Gyokeres to Chelsea, let's take a little look here at the news. This comes from Record in Portugal. Chelsea is currently the strongest possibility for Gyokeres, with the Blues reinforcing their interest in the striker recently. We've heard rumours that a lot of times this season Chelsea have been out in Portugal scouting Gyokeres. We're also hearing a lot of rumours that Victor Osimhen, maybe the wages might be outrageous. You've got PSG that are always guaranteed Champions League football. They're going to be able to offer a lot of money. They're also interested in signing Osimhen. So without Champions League football, and unless we win the FA Cup, highly unlikely we get Europa League football, I just think Chelsea are going to struggle. So I think Viktor Gyokeres then becomes that alternative that you can actually potentially see happen for Chelsea to sign. He's still going to cost a lot of money. But I just got this, I look at Viktor Gyokeres, the profile of him as a striker, and I look at what Nicholas Jackson is developing into. Viktor Gyokeres can finish. Nicholas Jackson, it's the hold-up play and those runs into the box. Those two together, Gyokeres and Jackson, when I look at them as a partnership, I'm thinking, this could work really well, you know. This could be an Anelka and Drogba. I think Viktor Gyokeres could be a fantastic sign-in for Chelsea, alleviate some of that pressure that Jackson is under to put the ball in the net, because right now he's the main striker. He's the only guy that is playing through the middle as a striker. Palmer's wasted through the middle. He is now the right winger. We know that. That's what we've got to mould this team into. So you bring in someone who is finding the net consistently, has been scoring lots of goals and can score different types of goals, headers, outside the box, inside the box, those runs, those late runs into the box. Viktor Gyokeres, I think, alleviates some of the pressure that Jackson's been under. And since Chelsea have started to be scoring more, Palmer's been in scintillating goal-scoring form, Mudryk's starting to find the net. You know, we're scoring goals now. That isn't an issue at the moment for Chelsea. And we're seeing as a result of that, not Jackson scoring all of them, but we're seeing performances from Nicholas Jackson dramatically improve. So for a first season in English football, Jackson, I think he's been good. I think he's been borderline very good at times, despite being erratic in front of goal on numerous occasions. Viktor Gyokeres to Chelsea. I'm going to wrap up this story here. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. And before we get into the final 40% of this video, I want to point you guys in the direction of my vlog channel. The link is in the description. I was a model for a day, like an actual model with a video full team photo shoot. Do you want to see me and my girlfriend modeling for a hotel? The link is in the description. Go and check it out. We move into the next story of the day, which is relatively surprising, considering we've heard a lot of talks about Petrovic this season. I think he's really endeared himself to Chelsea fans, and I would say I'm happy with him as the number one. And I wouldn't say signing a new goalie is my personal priority, but Chelsea are ready to bring in a new number one this summer. And like the following three players: Atletico Paranense, Bento played in goal for Brazil in their victory at England the other night. Unbelievable this. Valencia's Marmadashvilli and Arsenal's Aaron Ramsdale. Bento is available for 15 million quid. Look, with all of the FFP talk around Chelsea right now, with the clear desire to sign a striker and maybe midfield reinforcements, maybe a new left back, there's a lot of positions this summer that Chelsea might be looking to strengthen in. There's also rumours about new centre-backs as well if Thiago Silva is going to leave in the summer. So 15 million, I'm not just saying this because he had a good game against England for Brazil. I don't watch Brazilian football, but I would say we gambled on Petrovic at 15 million and he's doing a good job. So I would say taking another gamble on another 15 million goalkeeper might actually be the better business. The top world-class goalkeepers are few and far between. You'd have to spend a hell of a lot of money to get a really top-level keeper into Chelsea this summer. So maybe Bento in Brazil could be another option for us moving forward. Right, it's come to the end of the video now, and I've got to talk from an England fan's perspective. I want to start bringing in a few more wider footballing stories, because when talking about Chelsea is difficult, I start to think, well, where is the channel going to go? Where is GBFC heading? And I would like to start incorporating big stories from other clubs into the endings of the Chelsea videos. So if you do like that, hit the like button and let me know your thoughts on Southgate as England manager in the comments down below, please, because it's got to a point now where my whole life, I'm 30 years old in August, and I've got a sneak feeling that come my 30th birthday, I will still not have seen my country win a major tournament when I grew up with the likes of David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, in the England sides, Terry, Ferdinand. We had a golden generation of players and never got close to a major. We've been very close. 2018 World Cup, a semi-final. The Euros on our own turf, losing to Italy after being 1-0 up in 3 minutes at Wembley. And then the last World Cup, we come up against one decent side and we get knocked out. It's almost as if it didn't happen. And yet still, in 2024, we're going into a major tournament with a man who's only won 4 out of 26 matches against the top 10 ranked countries in the world, Gareth Southgate. England have an opportunity to see that a 1-0 defeat at home to Brazil, a 2-2 draw in the last seconds if it wasn't for the world-class mercurial Jude Bellingham getting an equaliser. England have got an opportunity here to get in a proven tournament manager, Jose Mourinho, before Euro 2024 in Germany, or we stick with Gareth Southgate, who has a proven record of not beating the big teams, hasn't won anything for England, and to be quite honest, there's talk that Man United might want Southgate as their new manager if they don't persist with Erik ten Hag. That changed a bit after they beat Liverpool, I guess, but Gareth Southgate, I think he would struggle to manage a mid-table Premier League club, let alone Manchester United. And I think because obviously England's current crop of players, they're incredible. It is such a waste to see such a bunch of brilliant quality individuals. And as an Englishman, back in England now, trying to get the feeling for my country again, having been away for so long, football is the attachment. And I'm looking at the performance against Brazil, the performance and result against Belgium, and I'm like, we've got such great players out there. How does Gareth Southgate not look at someone like Pep Guardiola and figure out and realise how to get the best out of Phil Foden? Why are we relying on the brilliance of Jude Bellingham, who's been crushing it for Real Madrid, in the last minute to get a draw, and then Southgate is celebrating it as if we flipping won the Euros? Like, we just drew against a Belgium team that are falling apart. They're not very good, and this squad of players that England have are so good. And I just feel as though I would be doing an injustice if I didn't add to the noise right now. Southgate should be sacked today. Go in there and understand that this England squad, these players have got the potential to actually make this country, to bring delight to this country as we're about to enter into a serious economic crisis. Winning the Euros and actually having like genuine belief we can go into the next World Cup and win it. This would do so much for this country, but we are sticking with Mr. Yes Man, Gareth Southgate, who's the FA's puppet and isn't good enough for the job. It's as simple as that. Going to wrap up this video here. Let me know your thoughts on all of the Chelsea news stories today. If If you're an England fan, or if you're not an England fan and you support another country, but you see what England are doing and you're thinking, it's obvious, it's another manager who needs to come in here. Thoughts in the comments down below. Hope you're enjoying these videos back in the car. I know you can't really see anything, it's a bit static behind me, but I think if I was to be driving, I'd be too much focused on you lot and not focused on driving. So this is what we've got to deal with for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Come on, you Blues.